to Bleacher Report's live coverage of the 2025 WNBA Draft. I'm Jordan Robinson, and I am here with the one, the only, the WNBA champ and guard for the New York Liberty. What's up, Tosh?
What's up, Jordan? Thank you for having me.
Oh, I am so excited to have you here and to chat with you as we watch the newbies, the rooks coming into your league. What are you most excited about when you watch the WNBA draft?
Man, I'm just most excited about this opportunity that all the women have tonight. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You work your entire career to potentially be one of the 144, if that number's still that, whatever it is now. But this opportunity you work for your entire career is for this moment to be happening tonight to all these women. Paige just got picked. I've known Paige since she's probably been 15 years old. So even for me, an old soul, old draft pick, old second round draft pick, tonight is still really special for me as well.
Well, you mentioned it. Let's go straight to it. The number one pick from the Dallas Wings was Paige Bueckers coming out of UConn.
Yeah, yeah.
We could pretend to be shocked, but we knew that was who they were going to select. This is such a great pick for Dallas because, one, they needed a point guard. They need someone to run the show. But I, for one, get really excited to see Paige and Arike on the court together. What gets you excited about seeing Paige at this next level? It's going to be fun.
Man, it's going to be fun. I think for me, the most fun thing to do with Paige, again, I told you I've been watching Paige and AZ play since they're probably about 15 years old. So the continued evolution of watching her play, watching her grow, that has been one of my favorite things to do. Now you got high school Paige to college Paige, you got college Paige to W Paige. It's going to be completely different. You're going into a league that is bigger, faster, stronger. Things that sometimes worked in college aren't going to work in the pros. So adapting, adjusting, but nothing more that Dallas needed than a solid point guard, and that is what Paige gives you. Arike has had so much weight on her shoulders the last few years of really just trying to be the place you can hang your hat on the offensive end, but she needs help. And when you have a great point guard that's able to facilitate and command and run an offense while also able to score as well, it just makes Arike's job a lot easier too.
Well, and we got to see multiple levels of Paige, not only from her being the first freshman to win Player of the Year when she was at UConn. She was putting everybody on notice as soon as she came into college. But then we saw her recently in this championship run have a 30-piece, then another 30-piece, then
Back
a
to back.
40-piece. Woo! Three in
Yeah.
a row at what she can do. 23 years old, 6 foot. You talked about transitions that she's going to have to, it's going to be a transition for everybody going from college to the W. But what do you think can translate from what her game has right now?
Everything's going to translate for Paige. It's just figuring out where you're going to be great at, where to take your opportunities at. But what I'm most excited about, Paige, is over this last kind of year, I think all that shit that people were talking, everything that people were saying about her world tour, she really just used that as fuel. And I saw a different version of Paige than I've seen. I saw more of a selfish player in the best type of way that she could be, because not taking shots and not being the Paige Bueckers that she can be, that hurts her team if she doesn't step up to that role. So in this championship run that she just made to end an amazing collegiate career, I saw that another level of a dog in Paige, and that was really cool to see.
She is a dog. And that's why we saw Arike saying, as a Notre Dame alum, that she was rooting for UConn in that
I know
championship
that
game.
killed my
I
dog.
think
I know that killed my
never
dog.
that has never been said before. And I love in her tweet too, she didn't even specifically
Yeah.
type UConn. She just said the other team. So
The
that's how
other
much of it
team.
is. But when we look at this, the starters for the Dallas Wings projected, proposed. You got Arike, you got Dejanay, who was added in free agency, Maddie Siegrist, who's had an incredible offseason, winning Athletes Unlimited this past year, and then Tierra McCowan, who is just a force in the paint.
Big
When you look
two.
at the starting five, how you feeling? How does Paige fit in here?
I think she fits perfectly in here. I think again that Dallas has needed a solid point guard over the last few seasons. Adding in Dejanay, I don't think people realize how big of addition that was. She's played. I know she's not playing for Kurt. He's the new GM, but she's played for Kurt, who she's played for Chris Koklanis as well as my St. Joe's guy. I'm so happy for him. Maddie has had an amazing Athletes Unlimited season, as you just said, and she's continued to get better. And Enrique has been pouring into her for the last 2 or 3 years. So that's been cool to
Mhm.
see. And then Big T is Big T. She does what she does, and she's really hard to stop. But this is a stronger Dallas Wings team than you've seen in the past. And I think Paige is the head of the snake for that, too.
I'm excited. I mean, I think Kurt Miller in his first year with Dallas as a GM shook some things
He's done a
up.
really
He
good
went and
job.
got He has so far. I've been super impressed. I did a stream last week on all of the calls he was probably getting for this number one pick.
Mhm.
People were probably trying to give their house, their cars, anything possible for him to give up that number
Oh,
one pick, but he
sure.
stayed
He
true.
knew better than that. He knew better than that. But other players that we haven't talked about too is Melissa Smith being added to the team, Aisha Hines Allen. They're really strong in the
Mhm.
depth perception too. Jesus, the depth of their bench. So he's done a really good job as a GM. He has proven over and over again in his career, whether it's in Connecticut or LA and now Dallas, that he knows what he's doing. So I'm excited to see this Dallas team. I'm excited to see what Chris Koklanis can do with this opportunity presented ahead of him. But the Paige, Enrique, Dejanay show, man, get ready for it. Make sure y'all strap yourselves in, and it's going to be a ride for sure.
Get ready for it. It is going to be so much fun. Speaking of getting ready, Seattle
Mhm.
Storm, it says their pick is in. You want to call it
Who
early?
you
Who do
think
you
they going
think?
with?
Who do you think? I'm gonna put it on you. You the expert. Who do you think they should go with? What do they
I
need?
I think they did a really good job of picking up guards in this offseason, signing back Gabby as well. I think they need a post, so I would say that they would give Kiki a chance. Kiki is a really
Mhm.
smart, high IQ, versatile big. She understands game schemes, defensive schemes, and I think she really solidified herself as a two-way player this year for everyone to see, especially in the later half of the USC season, especially with obviously Juju going out. So I would pick Kiki if I was Seattle, but we don't know. I ain't a
Ooh.
GM. I ain't
Okay, GM
okay.
Tosh. GM Tosh
Coach
says
Pokey,
Kiki
Coach Pokey. I
Iriafen.
don't know what you about to do, but Pokey, that's an
I trust
OG. I
Coach
love Coach
Pokey. Yeah,
Pokey.
I trust her.
I trust her in everything, man. Coach Pokey
Well, you
is
talk
one
about
of
a
my favorites.
post. Man, I mean, a lot of people don't know her name, but she's coming from France.
Mhm,
Dominique Malonga is 6'6", a true center, but also has that
mhm.
versatility and just straight up athleticism. Like, we could maybe
Absolutely.
have a dunk competition if Dominique wants to join during All-Star weekend, because she can throw it down with ease. But 15 points a
Mhm,
game. And again, this is she was on a French national team that was stacked, loaded, and I'm
mhm.
sure Gabby Williams is maybe she's in the ear of her GMs being like, you got to draft my French
For
homie.
sure.
She could come do some damage. But I like this
For
idea of
sure.
Kiki as well. Needing a post for Seattle is something that could be a running mate with Nneka Ogwumike, right?
Absolutely. And Dominique is really talented. And something that we don't often talk about or discuss about overseas players is, like you just said, they play against grown women. So that grace period of where college players come in and there's an adjustment piece to that bigger, faster, stronger. Overseas players already have that at a young
Mm-hmm.
age because they grow up playing in a system that they're playing against older players, bigger players, stronger players. So I think sometimes they're also more prepared for the professional level sometimes.
It's such a good point because she's only 19, but the
Hmm.
viral video of her dunking, she was 17 and she was already playing against 30-year-olds. Like there is
Mhm.
not this drop off necessarily when you are
Yeah.
coming from the pros. And we saw that with another Seattle Storm player, Ezzy Magbagor. When she came from Australia, she was only 19 years old, and she has blossomed into such an amazing player and perfect pro. Let's talk about Ezzy for a second because I can talk about her all the
Man, Ezzy
time. I
be
love
going
her
crazy
game.
on everybody. I don't like that people don't be talking about Ezzy enough because she's one of my favorite two-way post players, man. You talking about can go get a bucket and then go and pin your shit on the backboard on the other end and extends to the three. Yeah. Y'all need to talk
Woo!
about it more. Ah, you was
All
right. You
right.
the GM.
I was right. Hey, I'm not a GM, but I'm
You the
saying the pick
GM.
is in. Dominique Malonga is going to Seattle Storm 6-6 out of France. We see her. She's hugging her family right now. Okay, I like this. I mean, I'm totally biased because this was on my mock draft because I feel like this is
For
such a good
sure.
fit, but I can't wait to see her at the pro level. How you feeling? I can see how Kiki could have been number 2, but I think she might go 3 or 4.
Listen, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I think that Dominique is going to be able to translate very easily. Obviously, we just talked about what it means for her to already have that experience in the professional realm, playing for the French national team. But I think what is so special about her is her versatility and her smoothness on the court. At 6'6", you don't typically see that. You don't see the versatility, the ability to really um, do it at all levels. So I'm excited to see how it translates. And she's in great hands with Coach Pokey and everyone over there at Seattle. So she's good.
Mhm.
She's in a really good organization. Like you said,
She
that Gabby tie locked in.
Yeah, for sure. You know Gabby Williams was in the ear, but also seeing her in these highlight packages, she can shoot the 3 as well.
That's
And
what I'm
that is something
saying.
that our game, is growing. You got to be able to spread the
Yeah.
floor at all aspects. 50% from field goal. We got those block shots. She's going to bring defense. I just am imagining when we're thinking about the projected starting 5 for Seattle Storm, would they start
Look at
Nneka,
Coach Pokey.
Ezzy, and Dominique all at the same time?
Shoot. I don't
Ooh, okay,
know.
we have
I know that would
Dominique
be
in
like
here
the
sliding in for him.
Monstars. I know that'd be like the Monstars, but that's the thing. Each team from when I came into the league until now, I think when I first came in, you could pick nights that you were definitely going to win games, and now my 10th season in, every team is so even. Every team has waves of player. Every team has different arsenal that they can throw at you, and it's more even. So I'm excited for the trajectory of where the WNBA is heading. I'm glad that I still get to be a part of it and what I feel like is my prime. But man, this is going to be exciting to see all these teams, and you don't know who they're going to start. They have options,
I
and there is
know.
nothing more beautiful than having versatile options for your starting five.
Always want options and always want different pieces that you can throw in, not only from the start of the game, but even if, say, Dominique doesn't start, having her coming off the
Mhm.
bench is a scary, scary weapon to have in your back
Truly.
pocket. So just being able to have her and be a part of the Storm team, especially when you have a vet team, very vet heavy team like the Storm,
Mhm.
she's going to come in and be able to learn a lot from them. We know too, the Storm got this pick from the LA Sparks in a huge
Mhm.
3-team trade. So I think this paid off for them. I really like this move for them. Okay, Tosh, are you ready to grade? You were GM Tosh. Now you're going to
Yeah,
be teacher Tosh. We're going to grade this pick.
I
What's your
like this.
grade?
Teacher. Let me switch my hat on for my other
Yes,
one.
for
You
sure.
feel me?
My hair is a little big, so I can't
No,
fit a lot of
I get
hats, but
honestly, I give my first two grades to Dallas and Seattle. I give them an A. I feel like those were two really um, prominent picks for both of their organizations. I think that, especially for Seattle, to get a big that you can really pour into now when you already have a vet heavy team and she can learn from greats like NECA, I just think that they are really great picks for both organizations moving forward. Not only like immediate that can come in and help, but longevity wise for long-term investments from both of the organizations.
I would agree. I think it's rare when you can pick the best available and what you need. Like that's the
Hmm.
perfect marriage. If you can say we
What?
actually need a point guard and that's the number 1 overall pick and that's going to help us immediately next season and we're going to be able
Hmm.
to go in with an amazing future pick because Paige is going to be there for a while. Dominique, she's
Hmm.
only 19. She got fresh, young knees. She's going to be able to be a part of this organization for a really long time. So I am too. I'm also
Absolutely.
going to give A's. A's across the
We
board.
love
Straight A's
A.
so far. We love
Oh,
A's.
and
We
now we got
love
the little
A's.
scoreboard on the bottom. Yeah.
I love it.
Now
We're
we
going to
got the
see
grades
as
on
the
the
night
bottom.
progresses how correct we continue to be.
No,
Let's
you
talk about
correct. I'm
this.
not correct.
No. This is your chance. You can redeem yourself. We're going to be here for a long time. We're talking
They
about the
need a
third pick.
guard.
Going to the Mystics. They need a guard. Who do you have here? This is tricky.
Oh man, this is tricky because they could go one of two ways. Aneesah is going to be a three in this league. There is no way with size. A
Oh,
lot of the time, they will try to move her to the three, and we're gonna see. But if they don't, they do need. I knew they were gonna choose Sonya, and I didn't get it out early enough. I knew it. I was distracted watching. This is a great
Sonia Citron going to the Washington Mystics. This is an amazing pick. Go
man.
ahead. You were gonna say that.
No, you got it, host. Come on, Jordan. Go ahead with it. This is an amazing pick.
I love this pick. Taj, Sonia Citron is one of my favorite players in this draft because we talk about versatility and that is
Hmm.
needed when you are at the next level. I think what she can bring on both sides of the floor, because she also be defending, she be in there guarding the best player on the
Hmm.
other teams. She
Yeah.
can score at the rim. She can shoot from deep. Washington needs everything. So I don't even know if this is like what, if they needed this specifically, they need all the things. So, how do you like Sonia's game and how is it going to translate to a Mystic squad next season?
Yeah, I would argue to say maybe it's because I was in that locker room a few years ago. I don't think the Mystics are that far off. I think you have really solid pieces still in Slim and Brittany Sykes, Shakira Austin, and Aaliyah Edwards as well now. And with Shakira coming back healthy, with Aaliyah really just
Mhm.
picking up and having a really good unrivaled season, I think Sonia gets to come in and really be herself. And like you said, I think it's an amazing pick because they needed a big, versatile guard that can be a defensive stopper on both ends to give Slim a break every once in a while, to be able to bring up the ball, to be able to score at will and at a multitude of ways. I think this is going to be a really great fit for a team that was in desperate need of more guards, but
Mhm.
definitely not as far off as I think people think they are. I think they have some young talent, and if Shakira and Slim can stay healthy, I think they're in a really good position with adding Sonya to the mix.
Well, you said it. The start of last season was not favorable for the
Mhm.
Mystics. I believe it was 0 and
Yeah.
12, 0 and 13, but still towards the end, they were almost in a playoff spot. Like that kind of
Yeah.
shows would be able to get there or getting really close. But as we're talking about Sonia, we are going to toss it over to Taylor Rooks, who is with the number 1 draft pick, Paige Bueckers. Let's listen in.
It's official. Paige Bueckers, #1 overall pick to the Dallas Wings. What emotions come when you hear those words out loud?
Obviously, got a little bit emotional there, just talking about my teammates and what they mean to me, but just so much gratitude, so much appreciation for the journey that it took to get here and the people that it took to get here. So just rewarding their hard work and all of my hard work, I guess, it's very gratifying.
You, of course, have so much hype around you, so many people rooting for you. You are an excellent basketball player, but I'm curious how you manage the expectations of everyone else compared to the expectations that you have for yourself.
Yeah, I've learned to get rid of those attachments, get rid of caring about other people's opinions and expectations for myself, but living every day for itself, not even setting expectations or setting a ceiling to where I can get to. Just working my butt off every single day. I'm surrounding myself with people who keep me grounded, keep me humble, and be in the present.
You've been a winner at every single level of your career. What did being at UConn teach you about what it takes to be a champion?
That everything is important. There's no detail too small, and how to take responsibility for things. Even if it's not your fault, being a leader, stepping up, taking that role, taking that responsibility for everything that happens and holding yourself accountable to that and learning how to be a leader, I think, is the biggest thing that I've learned there.
Okay, so when you close your eyes and you think about playing with Arike Ngumbawale, what do you see?
A whole lot of assists.
Tell me more.
She's a shot creator. I don't even need to do much on the floor, but to be able to get her easier shots, to make the floor more spread, more open, the whole team, I'm excited for the future.
All right, one last one for you. I've been waiting to do this with you for a long time. No better time than some Marvin Sapp. I've had my shares of ups and downs.
Hey, thank you for it all, too. Thankful for it all.
Oh, there we go. I love it. Congratulations, Paige. You deserve this moment.
Appreciate it.
We love some Marvin Sapp getting a shout out, but we got to shout out Kiki Iriafen getting that number 4 slot. You called it maybe a little early, Tosh, but she's here now, and I think this is great pick for the Washington Mystics. She had a solid career at Stanford and then transferred to USC for her final season. What do you like about Kiki's game?
Man, I love Kiki's game. I talked about her earlier, possibly being the second round draft pick too. I think she really solidified herself during this collegiate season of going to Stanford, moving to USC, and just making another name for herself within that program. She's proved that she can score. She's proved that she can defend. I'm excited to see her game continue to extend. Like you said, that next position to extend to the 17, 18, and then to obviously the 3-point line. But I'm excited. This is a good draft pick for DC. I am a little surprised. I thought they would go with 2 guards to replace what they kind of lost within moving, and then obviously with losing Van Lith within the Valkyries. I thought they would go for a guard, but hey, I'm here for it. I love my time in DC. I spent 8 seasons there. I think it's going to be a great place and a great organization for her to go in and be loved and be developed, and also have some really great bigs ahead of her that she can learn from too.
When you think about Kiki, for me, what stands out is the potential. I think her ceiling is super high, especially at the pro level. But when you think about, we kind of saw the projected starting lineup for the Mystics. Would you put Kiki in the starting lineup immediately?
I'm not taking Shakira Austin out of my starting lineup ever as a coach, as a GM, or as a point guard. That it's just I played with Kira. I know who Kira is. If Kira is healthy, that's her spot, and I think it would be a great position for Kiki to come in and learn from Shakira as well. But I think that Shakira and Aaliyah kind of have that 4-5 set there.
Absolutely. What better players to learn from, because that is her position for specifically when Kiki is in attack mode and ripping and going from that free throw line. It is scary, super scary to stop. So I think she fits in, but I'm with you. I think that second unit, having Kiki coming off the bench, is going to be really, really nice. Okay, let's go back to that Paige interview. Yes, I agree. Let's go back to that Paige interview real quick with Taylor Rooks, because I think she said some really fun stuff besides the singing, which I love. I would have asked that exact same question. What stood out to you from Paige talking about this moment?
Oh man, this is one of my favorite moments that I get to talk about Paige, because I think from the time that Paige is 19 and got on that stage and utilized her platform and her privilege to talk about all the Black women in the game of basketball that came before her, I think Paige is one of my favorite players, not biasly, but more so from a human aspect of what she stands on, her moral compass, how she's rooted in her faith. And I think that sprays into kind of everything that she does. It's why she's such a great teammate and a great leader as well, is because she really does just have this empathy about her that allows her to meet other people with where they are. And when you're talking about how it means to be great within your realm and with moving forward in your growth. I think she has everything that she needs, and you can hear it in her interview. I think that's an old soul. I think she's a lot older
Mm-hmm.
than 23 from a mature standpoint. So you're seeing that someone that has gone through the trials and tribulations, someone that has had a lot of favor in her life, but has gone through the fire for that favor. She is grounded in her faith, in her family, in her core group, in her circle. And I think when kids have that figured out at a young age, just makes your next part a little bit easier. So I'm really happy. I'm glad to hear her interview. I love hearing Paige talk. I think she just gives you a very like human way of human perspective on all things, including the game of basketball. So she gives testament to her teammates, which I think makes her a great franchise player, is that she knows that she wouldn't be anywhere without her teammates along the way, too.
Well,
That was a
I love
long-winded
about
answer.
Paige. No, I love that answer because I guess the thing that comes to mind is Paige gets it. Like she just understands not only how to talk to the media, but she gets this whole concept of where she fits in the bigger picture, and she's able to articulate that so well. But
Yes.
then coming into a league like the WNBA, it is a progressive league, and you're able to speak your mind, and you're able to be at the forefront, and you are the perfect person to talk to that about and be able to be an advocate for that. So I also feel like, yes, she's coming into the league because she has earned it and she is a fantastic player, but she also gets it from the off the court side as well. And we need more people like Paige in this league.
We need more allies like Paige, and we love that. And we do have allies. I think Kelsey Plum has always been an ally as well. I think there's other people that have stepped up when we've needed them too. So, but Paige is definitely one of them real ones.
I love it. I cannot wait to see her play. All right, so let's get out some grades. We got to put our teacher hats back on.
Okay.
Just
Let's
this one,
do
just
it. Let me
Kiki.
take my
Or no,
take it
Sonia
off.
too, right? Yeah, we got to
We
do
gotta go
the
Sonia.
Mystics trades. Who
Sonia
or
is
what's your
an
grade?
A. Sonia
Okay,
is an
okay.
A. I'm not
Are you
gonna
giving
lie. I
A's,
thought
A
they could.
minuses, A pluses?
Oh no, I'm giving just an A. If it's a minus or a plus, I'll give it attached. But let me
Okay.
tell you why I gave Kiki a little B, okay? I love Kiki. I told you she could have gone second. I just think that there could have been a guard picked in this fourth spot as well to build their army of guards on that team that is very thin and has been thin since the 8 years I played there, right? But also, yeah, I do think that Kiki could have been another starter on another team in a different organization. So I give it a little bit of a B because I think that, yeah, I think they could have gone with a guard. That's no knock to Kiki because I'm happy for her. And I think she should have
Yeah,
been picked within top 3. But I hope that DC is everything that she wants it to be for her.
I agree. Well, I'm going A for Sonia Citron. I'm going B plus for Kiki
Okay, I
because
was
I
going
do
with do the
think,
plus.
yes, I think it's a B plus because you kind of can't not pick her. So I get the pick, but I agree that she's like, dang, I could have been a starter. I'm gonna be a rotation player when I could have
Imagine
probably
she got
gone
picked
somewhere
for the
else.
Valkyrie. Yeah, like
Yes.
imagine.
Well,
Just one
speaking
more
of the
pick lower.
Valkyries, let's go to their pick
Who you
because
got?
their pick is in. And the Valkyries select Justė Jocytė, and she is from
I'm
Lithuania.
glad you
She was
said
also
that name.
playing
She
in
probably really
France.
knows this.
I don't know if
Say it
I'm saying it
again.
right. That was my try. Justė Jocytė. That's my guess.
Born in
That is my
DC.
guess.
Okay.
Yes, she
I
was
mean, shoot.
born in the
Yeah, let
United
me see your highlights.
States. Went to Lithuania. She is
Okay, big guard.
smooth. She's smooth with
Ooh,
it,
I
Tosh.
like
Like
that.
I
And
was
she a
watching.
lefty? She a
Yes, she's a
lefty?
lefty. Yes.
I love a lefty
Yes.
shooter.
Yes.
Shout out to
Yes.
my aerial actors, Tiffany Hayes. All y'all shit look pretty.
That's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Just her being a lefty makes it just extra smooth, but she
It
has
just
the
looks
shot. She has a
pretty.
handle, balls on a
I like
string. She's
that.
only
And
19.
can pass
She's
the
been playing
ball.
she's been playing pro since she
Okay.
was 13 years old and in the
Yeah.
Euro League since 14. So you talk about this transition. She's been playing against the Duana Bonners and the Bree Jones in the Euro
Mm-hmm.
League for years. So I think that's going to make a smoother transition. But
I do
I don't
too.
think anybody really had her this high, going number 5 to the Valkyries. So what do you think
Yeah,
about the
I do.
Valkyries kind of going off the path a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm a huge fan of Natalie, Coach Natalie. I'm excited to see what she does. I knew they were going to pick her.
Woo!
I'm
Oh
excited to
my!
see what she does.
Yeah, let's go to the Georgia Amoore news real quick because
I
she's
love
coming in at
Georgia.
number 6.
Hey, you know what? When I left DC 8 years ago, I knew it was in good hands. Okay, or when I left it 3 years ago, I knew it was in good hands. But when you have another point guard that you are just a fan of, and that has been me of Georgia, she's such a high IQ player. She is tough as shit. She is just like a dog on both ends of the floor too. I know she's only 5'5", but she's 6 foot at heart, and I love that. But yeah, the DC needed another point guard. Brittany Sykes is more than capable of leading the charge at the one, but her
Mhm.
role is like Enrique, right? They're scorers, they're natural scorers. So you want them to be in that mode most of the game, and I think Georgia gives her that chance to get off the ball and to do what she does. And um, we can see it. Georgia's a scoring point guard, but she can also run an offense. So I think this is big for DC, who really truly needed a point guard more than anything to just solidify and
Mhm.
again knock Slim over into that 2 spot so she can go get a bucket. Is
Well, you
that
see the draft
Elena
girls.
Deladon on coaching staff?
Oh my God, it
Is
is.
that
EDD
Elena
is
Deladon on
clapping.
coaching staff? What?
maybe
Oh, I
maybe
can't
that's a
wait to
little
call her.
announcement.
I
Ooh,
can't wait
we
to
got the
call
photo on and
her.
everything. Tosh, she look official.
Wow.
Oh
She's going to be a
my
great fucking
God.
coach.
Well, if
Wow.
EDD had anything to do, I understand why Georgia Amoore was this pick. What's your grade for this? Because you
A
gave
plus.
Washington a
A
B.
plus. A plus. I love Georgia. A plus.
A
And she's
plus.
dressed in honor. Yeah. Oh, look at how proud her parents are.
That is
Don't get me
so
crying.
cute. And Russell Westbrook is there because she's wearing Honor the Gift, and he styled her for this
He
evening. She looks
did.
great. She is a straight up baller. And now, I don't know, the Mystics are
And she
turning
was at
into,
Virginia Tech. So
yes,
that's
yes,
within spitting distance.
that's true. That's true. She's going to bring a
Mhm.
lot of that fan base over. But they have her at 5'6". That is generous. That is
Yeah. They wish me
my
at
height.
6'2".
I also give this an A. I think this is a great, great pick for the Mystics. I had Georgia Amoore going as a steal to the Sparks a little bit later, but it does not
Yeah.
surprise me that she is this high
I'm
because
not
they needed it,
surprised.
and she is a scoring point guard, and she's going to be able to do that. Woo!
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that was
like that
exciting.
too.
I love Georgia Amoore. Let's go to Taylor Rooks, who is with Dominique Malonga, the number 2 pick in this draft.
On an absolute dream come true. It was such a beautiful moment there with your family. What emotions went into those hugs and embraces that you gave them?
A lot of emotion because, as I said, it was a long journey to arrive here. I was born in Cameroon, raised there, moving to France, a lot of movement. My mom, she worked a lot. My dad too, like a lot of things. So it's really an accomplishment to be here today and to bring my family here to like show them that I really achieved something for real and a big thing, and that's what it's all about. Sorry.
And I mean, it's a huge thing. You know, I heard you when you were saying to Holly Rowe, you were talking about how you were going to work hard, but I mean, you were already so dominant down low. I mean, you can shoot the three, you can finish around the rim. Just how dangerous will your versatility be in the W?
I mean, if I can bring that to the league, this versatility, that's really what I want to do, because that's how I impact the game, and that's what I want to do. Like, I want to let my mark. I really want to impact the game, and so I know that my versatility will help my defense too. Like, all the things that I can bring, I will bring it in the W.
And of course, gotta say, you were the first French woman to dunk in a game. You said you want to dunk in the W. What's that dunk gonna look like?
I don't know yet, but beautiful it can be. It will, I hope.
Hey, it's coming. We'll be watching. Congratulations. Enjoy your night.
How adorable is she? I love Dominique Malonga. She says she gonna throw it down. I believe her, and it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty. Okay, the next pick is in Connecticut with the 7th overall pick. It's Aneesah Morrow coming from LSU. You said she's going to be a 3 in this league. I agree, because she is a very undersized post. She was in college, so I think in the W it's like very undersized. But at those rebounds, she gonna clean them up.
Okay, she's strong though, and she plays really, really hard, and that's something that I really loved about her from early this year. You just kind of saw her took over for LSU. Whether she's undersized or not, she was going to go get a bucket. She was going to go get a board. She was going to protect and guard their best offensive player on the other end. I just think that her motor is so high. She's just another tough-nosed kid, very much like Angel in that mindset of, I'm just going to go get it, and I don't care who's in my way or who I see. But obviously, you see she can expand. She can score from a multitude of ways. I think this is a really good pickup for Connecticut, a team and an organization that is really looking to rebuild in this next year or so.
Absolutely. And the same thing that we said about Angel when she was coming in is that effort will translate.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
height, it doesn't matter anything. Shooting percentage is nice, but that
What's your
effort
heart
is
got?
always going to be there. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got heart.
And that, woo,
Yeah, she got heart for sure.
she really, really does. What do you think is her ceiling
Oh,
at the next level? Because
ooh.
she's showed a little bit in the tournament that she could shoot the 3 too. She was letting it rain from there.
She can. I've always been a big player on. I don't like creating ceilings for other players or expectations. I kind of just like. I know it sounds simple and dumb, but just seeing what people do. Because I think when you try to box people into certain players or certain ways, you also negate them from actually growing. I've had it happen to me multiple times in my career of being boxed into this immature player or this young player that still is trying to grow a game. Once you grow out of that, man, you got to be allowed to grow and have the freedom to grow. So I'm excited. There's no ceiling for any of these girls. Whatever their dream, whatever their aspirations, whatever their goals are going to be, I'm really about it's just, are you going to do it or you not? Is you going to put up or you going to shut up? That's how I feel. But yeah, no ceiling. She's going to be great though, man.
I love it. I totally respect that, and I think she is going to have what a great team to go to too. She's going to have the opportunity to grow and play through her mistakes and be able to really get after it. All right, grading time. What you got?
Who knows? Maybe they'll bring Emma in at some point because they do have her Belgium coach. So we ain't forget that. We also did not forget.
We all have that in our back pocket because that would be so good.
Okay, we
Emma, where you at?
we didn't forget what y'all was trying to do over there. Okay, grade. I give it an A. I give it an A. I think they needed a dog. I think they needed someone to kind of get into people and really shake shit up. So I think she's the perfect person for that.
I think so too. I'm going A. It was best available.
Oh.
It was an opportunity for her to grow and for Connecticut to be able to add a dog, like you said, in Aneesah Morrow. And I can't wait for her to play against Angel Reese because there's not going to be any rebounds left for anyone else.
What?
So that is going
I'm just
to
going to
be
watch
really
him
fun.
jump. I'm just going to watch him jump.
Don't even jump for it.
Y'all got it.
Y'all got it. Go for it. Okay, next pick is in also to the Connecticut Sun. They go with Saniya Rivers for that 8th pick out of NC State, 6'1". I really like this. I don't think a lot of people had her this high in mock drafts, but what do you think about this?
I love Saniya, man. When you're talking about like a basketball body type, this is who you want. This is 6'1". This is can get a bucket. This is can defend you full court. This is has so much potential, right? I said that about ceilings, but so much potential to be great at the next level and transition to the next level. So I'm excited for this pick. I'm excited that she kind of gets to go to an organization that is in the process of rebuilding because she and Aneesah kind of get to make it their own as well with Marina. So I think they're trying to put pieces around Marina that will also help when you're adding slashers and big bodies. That's going to leave Marina open on the 3-point line. You got Tina Charles, who in her own right is going to be a Hall of Famer one day for what she's been able to do in her career. So this is really great. You have Lindsay Allen, a solid point guard, one of my favorite solid point guards that doesn't get talked enough about. So they're piecing it together. They're piecing it together little by little. But I love this pickup. And it's another hungry dog. And you can see, man, their families are getting me. I'm like, stop
I
pandering to
know,
their parents.
right? I know. That's the part of
Uh,
draft night that always
Then
gets
Aneesah's
me. Oh,
grandmama up there. I'm
oh.
like, dang. Oh, my chest.
Well, and you talk about her journey, like she's talked about it being at South Carolina for a season or two and being like, okay, I think there's still more for me to give. She transfers to
For
NC
sure.
State. People question that decision. She still was able to show that she is pro ready. You talked about her body, her length. I just feel like she is a pro. Like she is going to thrive on that level. And like you said, to Connecticut, we're going to give our grades right now. Saniya Rivers, Aneesah Morrow, Marina Mabry, they're going to be able to move some things around. Emma Mieseman, if you're listening, you can add a little bit to here. I like it. I like it. My grade for this is also, I'm going to give it, no, I'm going to give it an A. I'm an easy grader. I'm sorry. I was going to give it a B plus. I was going to give it a B plus.
See,
only because
you know what?
I was thinking Van Lith. But Saniya Rivers getting drafted over Van Lith is very interesting, and I don't think anyone had guessed.
But I think Haley has done a really good job, right? From the transfer from LSU to TCU, that was a lot of shit. Even that last game, I think that she was put in a terrible position as a kid and was meant to deal with it kind of on her own mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that's really tough in that realm when all these spotlights and how bad social media has been on us as players as of late. So for her to bounce back, take TCU to its first championship, right? Like that is walking in your own path, your own journey. And so for this next part of her journey, I want her to be in with a solid point guard, with a solid player that can show her the ropes and really just take her under her wing. She's great. She's going to translate. It's going to probably take a little bit of time, as it does every player, right? I want people to think back to a Kelsey Plum and how it almost took her about 3 years to kind of just get her feet to where a space where she was like, okay, yeah, I'm that person. I'm not saying it's going to take Haley that long. I'm just saying that I would really like her to be loved on during this time because I think it would just really expedite her growth process and help her adjust a lot quicker.
I love that, but you're not getting out of a grade here, so you got to give us a grade for Saniya.
I'm still giving Connecticut an A, bro. Jordan said that's great and all. Shut the hell up and grade it. My bad.
I love it. Okay. A's. I love it. Okay. It was borderline B plus / A for me. A's across the board. This is a great draft so far. We're going to go to Taylor Rooks, who is with the number 3 overall pick, Sonia Citron out of Notre Dame. Here's Taylor.
Congratulations to you. Go ahead. You want to see you guys? We're getting her live reaction to her new teammate Kiki. So as we see Mystics stacking up, how will you help them win now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I bring a lot of hustle, I bring a lot of heart. I'm able to play both sides of the ball, and I'm just ready to learn and grow and just keep getting better.
You, of course, are known as an elite 3-and-D player. We heard your coach saying all the things you bring to the court. But what parts of your game do you think are overlooked that will grow even more as a professional?
I think that I'm great at running in transition, and I'm a great off-ball player. You know, I'm really good at cutting and just reading my point guards and, you know, just getting places that I can get open and cut, get an open layup, all that.
How do you want your time in the league to add to just the outstanding legacy of guards from Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we were looking at a graphic earlier, and it had all the accomplishments, accolades of all the Notre Dame guards that were before me. And if I can do half of what they did, I think I would be happy. I mean, they're amazing, and I think that's great that I can learn from them. You know, that network, that relationship is always open, you know, to just learn from them.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, last one for you. You were so unwavering. In the big moments, you were never moved. Where does that just unshakable nature come from?
Yeah, honestly, I've always been like that, so I don't really know, but I think a lot of it came from my dad because he's like that, and I think now it's just my faith. I think God just keeps me stable and steady, and I know that He has a plan for me, and as long as I trust in that, I'm going to be good, and He's going to get me right. So just believing in that.
Well, it's led you to a beautiful night tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you so
for your
much.
time.
That is so special. Sonia Citron coming out of Guard University. She talked about it. I mean, a long legacy of Notre Dame guards being able to make that not only the transition to the W, but thrive here. But she fits into that very well. I think she's going to be a great pro.
I think she's going to be a great pro too. I really didn't get put on to her. I'm going to put that out there. I didn't get put on to her until this season. And when she was, right, steady as could be for Notre Dame all season long. If you needed a bucket, you would call on her. If you needed a stop, you would call on her. And you could just see that the game had definitely slowed down for her. That's something that I noticed. It just looked like she was like the puppet master out there at all times. And when you see that comfort level, seriously, when you see that comfort level over a player, you just know that they kind of have it. They understand it. They understand the pace and management of games, and I think that's special to have.
And how is that to be so even keeled? Because she talked about it a little bit, but that was always something that broadcasters brought up when you talked about the game. She would show up in big time moments because she never looked shook. Like she was always so calm, so confident. How important is that?
I think it's really important to have like an even keel guard. Speaking from personal experience, I tend to be more of a fire player, more of a passionate player, and trying to dive into that water has been such a big part and big piece of my growth as well because people really do respond. And I think the biggest thing when you're being looked to as a player for just solidity, that is it. When you can be just even keeled, you can never go too high, never go too low. But you know you could just be depended on in all facets of the game. And I think that's what Sonia brings to the court, to whatever team or organization that she will play for in her career. I think that is said to be true.
I agree. Okay. The pick is in for the LA Sparks. They have that number 9 pick. I'm nervous now. I feel like we're all over the map. Who are they
I don't even know. I'm like, don't even ask me. Oh, I like it.
What? Sarah Ashley Barker from Alabama, 6 foot. She also had an outfit change. This is cute.
Yeah.
Holy wow. I am surprised by this.
You know that that movie Cheaper by the Dozen, Sarah Ashley Barker, that sounds like that name should be in Cheaper by the Dozen. But I love her. Are you surprised by this? I think she's tough. I think she's a little bit of an underdog. I think that she gives your favorite players buckets every single night, whoever your favorite player on any team. I think we saw, especially during that Maryland game, how like how tough she truly is, her ability to take over, her ability to be dependent on for big moments. And yeah, I like this pick. I think she's a little tough guard. Look at her. Just get in the bucket.
Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at her doing what she do. No,
And
she
she's
is
a
strong.
fiery
First of
player
all,
too. I like that.
yeah. I think opposite of what we were talking about, even killed. She gets after it and she wants to win. She
She
wants to
wants to
win. You
win.
never doubt that. Also, I saw her in person. Her arms, she is ridiculously cut. Like she is strong.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
is strong.
But
She's
these
gonna
babies
be a
out here been lifting.
yes.
There's been drafts before where I'm like, okay, you're gonna need that adjustment in the weight room. This one, no, them babies been lifting.
Okay,
We
what
like
is your
that.
grade for this pick? Because
Oh,
I'm thinking
are
LA
you gonna give it a B?
Sparks. I was gonna give it a B. I was gonna give it a B. I am gonna give it a B only because this is no diss to Sarah
No,
Ashley,
it is.
but
Sarah Ashley Barker.
I I love a three name. I love a three name. I don't
I
know if
do
I would have
too.
picked this for the Sparks on what they particularly need, but maybe it was because I was still
Okay.
I wanted Georgia Amoore to play for Lynn Roberts. Like I wanted that so bad. So maybe I didn't even think
I
of
feel
a
that.
different option. But
I feel that. I
I'm
feel
giving it a
that.
B. Yeah.
All right.
What you got?
I'm gonna give it a B plus with the potential to be an A because I think that she
Hmm.
could be a sleeper on a lot of people. I think that a lot of people are thinking similarly to you, but I do think that she is a tough ass player. I think that she adds a versatility to that team. I think she adds another defender to that team and a bigger defender. Um, I agree. Why I give it a B plus is because I also thought that they could have used. I know everyone loves, and Kelsey gonna kill me on this too. I'm gonna place a wager on our assist this year between me and Plum because she told me she gonna have more assists than me, and I said you must be out your mind because you were shooting too. So I would have definitely chosen another. I mean, you have Lexi Brown that can step in, or Lexi, they actually traded her. So no,
Yeah,
I would have
she's not
taken.
there.
I would have
Yeah.
taken another primary ball handler. You need it. You got Rikia, she's young. You got Ray, she's young. I definitely would have taken a point guard in this draft.
I agree. I agree. That
Kelsey,
is why
you
it is
might
B.
kill
Now
me,
we talking
dog.
about it. It might be a C.
Oh,
It might be a C for me
you might
because
kill me, Kelsey. But I'm just saying, like Christy Tolliver. Christy loved to say she was a point guard too, but I used to say, move your ass over to the two and go shoot your shots, okay? You can bring it up whenever you want to too. But when it comes to running this offense, I got us. That ball got to move.
I got us. The ball got to move. It
That
might
ball got
stick
to
a little.
move.
Might
Yeah,
stick a
that
little with
ball got to
Plum.
move. So
Okay. So
yeah.
we gave our grades here. I need to recoup. I need to think about this some more. But while we're doing that, Taylor Rooks was with Kiki Iriafen, the 4th overall pick in the WNBA draft.
All right, Kiki, first off, a moment for the dress, okay? You look amazing. In 20 years, when people look at a photo of you on this draft, what story do you want your dress selection to tell?
I wanted to just show a proud Nigerian who works hard, who's resilient, relentless, and has style. But I feel like this dress is just a culmination of just showing my pride.
I love that. You know, your head coach, Lindsay Gottlieb, has said, she's talked about the joy that you bring to the game. What level of joy has the game brought you?
Everything, truly. I feel like I play my best when I'm joyful. I think my teammates help me become joyful and, just play with a lot of energy and kind of bring that youth to the game. So, yeah, I feel like joy is my superpower, and that's something like my coaches always say.
Yeah. How do you use your emotions to be a better basketball player out there on the court, and even the way that you're embracing them right now?
I think I am an emotional person, but it's about, regulating them, not getting too high, not getting too low, and that's something that I've had to work throughout my whole career. But I think emotions are good as long as you know how to use them.
For sure. You have had to take on different roles throughout your college career at Stanford, at USC. How have you learned to constantly adapt and elevate?
Honestly, just practice, trial and error. but really just keeping the main thing. I understand what my goals are. I want to be a winner, and so doing whatever it takes. Sometimes it might look different on certain teams, but just winning at the end of the day.
Yeah, really exciting night for the Mystics. Just spoke to your new teammate, Sonia. What kind of basketball are y'all going to play in Washington?
Fast. We're going to be a youthful team, so I'm excited for that. A lot of energy, and I'm excited to be her teammate and not her competitor anymore.
You're like, I like it on this side a little bit more. Do you like the idea of the Mystics building and just being a part of that?
I think it's just such an honor to be a part of a vision. And I thank the Mystics for having so much confidence and belief in me. I'm going to work my tail off for this team. But I think it's super, super special to be a part of something building.
I love that. Well, Kiki, you are a vision. Congratulations on tonight.
Thank you so much.
She is a vision. That gold, whew, it looks so good.
You want stupid young queen? You want a stupid young queen? Everybody gonna ask about that dress, and they're gonna have to talk about your Nigerian heritage. So I love that.
I love that. And she used the same designer as Chiney Agumake's wedding dress designer. So shout outs. The fashion was first and foremost.
Did that.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
All right. The number 10 pick is in from the Chicago Sky. Ajsa Sivka. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm rolling with.
I'm so happy it's your job and not mine. I can't wait to learn their actual names. It's going to be my first thing to ask.
Me too. I hope I am not butchering it, but I love all of these international players, and she is from Slovenia, 6'3", power forward. I love this. She is, some people are saying, a sleeper. She was one of those in the talks with international play. But how do you like this pick going to Chicago?
I love it, and I'll tell you why. I got the pleasure of playing with Emma Miesemann for a few years of my DC career, and I won a championship with Emma Miesemann, being the sixth player off the bench and coming into a championship game to where we literally just threw the ball to her the last 5 minutes, and that was our MVP. So when I tell you the sleepers from overseas, I see it. She is 6'6", right?
She is, I believe so.
I think she's like 6'5", 6'6". She can shoot the ball from a distance, and her release is so beyond quick. She can finish around the rim. What I'll be interested to see is, can she defend that same position? That's all that I would ask. But I love this pick for Chicago. I think it also benefits Angel. I think what was sometimes hard with Angel and Camilla in there at the same time is you have two players that want to play with their backs to the basket, and they're on the block. So sometimes they actually crowd themselves within their offense. But with Tyler there, I know he's going to have a more open concept offense. I think that this pick gives them the ability to extend at that 4 position and make you commit to guarding at the 3-point line and giving Camilla and Angel the inside presence that they want and that they need to be successful. So I love this pick. I think it really extends that 4 position that they've been desperate to extend since Emma left, since Candace left. Yeah, I think this is a good pick for them.
I like it. Okay, what's your grade? As we even look at the proposed starters, because you got to remember, Courtney Vandersloot, Ariel Atkins are now there. They weren't there last year. I think that adds more to this team. But what's your grade for this pick to go with those players?
I give this I'm going to give it a B+, because I really do want to see if my girl can defend from the 4 position, because that's the hardest position to guard in our league. You're talking about a Stewie. I know everyone loves to call Asia a 5. I think she's a really mobile, versatile 4. That's my argument. She can just defend 5s, but that's a really tough position within our league in itself. So I'm going to give it a B+. What you giving it, Jordan?
I'm going to give it a... B-. I'll go B-. Here.
Okay, why you doing mine?
I know I'm adding a little. I gotta add a little something. Add a little something.
You're a little tough grader over there. You definitely would have failed me out of school. Okay.
No, I'm trying to.
I'm that badass in the back of class.
No. I give everyone an A for effort and participation. But I think Chicago needed a shooter, so I think this definitely checks off that box. They did need somebody to shoot, especially when you have someone inside to get all those rebounds.
Okay, what you talking about, Ariel Atkins? You forgot about AA? That's a shooter.
I know. That's why they
Let me put
got
you
her.
back
That's
on
why
my
they got her.
dog. That's
Hey,
my dog.
I love me some Ariel Atkins. I think this is great.
Okay.
I'm just interested. I don't know. Am I too team Haley Van Lith? My dad just texted me too. When is Haley Van Lith coming off the board? I also
think
felt like
everyone's
Haley Van Lith would have
wondering.
been great here too. So that's my score. But anyway,
They do have the
let's
back-to-back.
go.
They do have the back-to-back.
They do. They
So,
traded for it. So we are going to talk
yeah.
about who their next pick is. But first, we're going to
So
toss
they
it
could
to
go with
Taylor, who
another
is with
guard.
Georgia Amoore, another guard. Let's see if they do it. But first, Taylor.
All right, Georgia. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
You first started playing basketball after watching your cousin play, and you wanted to do everything that she did. Did you believe that moment would lead you to tonight?
No, honestly, I think I started having a little bit of league realizations maybe my junior year. But in saying that, every single step I've taken has put me in the best position. So I think when it came up, I was ready to take that further step.
And just for everyone to understand is how legendary Georgia is. You joined Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu as the only players in D1 women's history with 2,300 points and 800 assists. What makes your offensive game so special?
Just my brain. I think, it's no secret I'm on the shorter side. So having to use my brain and my abilities in different ways. I've had to study the game like I studied for a test in college. So, I think, it's my passion, my joy, and my brain.
And I know people, the critics, maybe keep talking about your size. But what should everybody know about just how big Georgia Amoore is?
I got the biggest heart, the biggest brain, and sometimes you can't count that, right? It's nothing you can size unless you take it out of me, literally. But that's what I pride myself in.
Yes, beautiful night for you. And I read an article where you said that you need to be better at reminding yourself about your hard work and the moments you should be proud.
Yeah.
And I hope that you take tonight to soak in this accomplishment.
you.
Congratulations, Georgia.
I will. Thank you very much.
Georgia said her brain. And I love that so much, especially as a point guard. She said, my brain is what sets me apart. You saw her at Kentucky. She followed Kenny Brooks from Virginia Tech, and she was in those huddles drawing plays just as much as he was. So how much is that so important to have as a point guard? Just be a heady player.
Yeah, it's what's going to set her apart. Your IQ as a point guard to be able to be an extension of the coach and understanding game schemes, game management, when to get players touches, having a feel for when it's your time to go to. But really, more than anything, her leadership is just going to truly set her apart in DC, and it's going to be welcomed with a good group of women in that locker room as well. So I'm excited. That move from her with Coach Brooks, who happens to be one of my favorite college coaches, I just think he does a really good job of meeting his players with where they are. I don't believe in the college realm. I think too often coaches feel like you have to break players down to build them up. And I think Coach Brooks does a good job of meeting them with where they are and pouring into them. And I think their relationship has been really cool, and I think it's going to help her so much in that next step, in the next evolution, in the W of just her mindset. And I know you're hype right now.
Can you see?
I
I'm
know
excited.
you're hype right now. I know you're. Go ahead, girl. Go do it.
Okay, so Haley Van Lith, 11th pick to Chicago. I did not. If you would have asked me yesterday, I did not think I would be. Oh, shout out. A future. We don't know what to call them. Wags, but he is excited.
What is it? Is it a wag? Is it
I don't know what we're going to call it. Habs, husbands and boyfriends.
Yeah, like
of players. We love this.
Habs, maybe.
I like this pick. Again, Chicago traded for this pick. This was with the Minnesota Lynx before today, right? Was that today or yesterday? Last minute trade to be able to get this pick. They pick Haley Van Lith coming out of TCU. Tosh, you talked about it earlier. Last season, the last game of last season for her at LSU was a real tough watch. And it felt like she was out there on an island trying to guard Caitlin Clark. but she has been able to, and she talked about it, find her joy in the game again.
Mhm.
And she came out and led TCU to their best season in program history. And she was also putting up some points too while she was
She
doing it.
was. She was. No, I told you earlier, I'm so happy for her. That's a tough battle to battle mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually as a player, right? Like, we
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
out and give our best efforts every single night, and some nights we're going to have it, some nights we're not. That's just the name of the game. But there's never truly a grace and an understanding when you are at this level of elite play. And I think that was really hard. But then the rewarding factor of going through the mud, going through the fire, and coming out on top with God's favor is a huge testament to continue to follow His path and His journey set out for our lives and our careers. And I am really happy that she also talks about her mental health, because I think it's not something that
Mhm.
athletes typically talk about a lot. And especially, right, like our top athletes in the collegiate play, W play. So for her to be able to be vulnerable in that moment, I think is a lot of strength to other kids going through some of the same things too.
Yes, we talked about it with Paige, an ally coming in, her being a voice for mental health is going to be huge. And I hope her platform even grows now that she is at this WNBA level to be able to
Chicago's
talk
gonna
about it
love her.
more. I
But when
am
I
so
say
excited about this.
what better point guard to learn from than Sloot? What I tell you?
What? I love this.
What
Okay,
did
let's go
I
to
tell
grades
you?
because that's why this is an A for me, because she is going to learn from Courtney Vandersloot in a system that Vandersloot has really built. Like, she went away, she won a championship with the Liberty, but now she's back and she's going
But
to be
y'all
able to
missed
say, all
it.
right, I'm back. Let me get back to what I've been doing in Chicago. And Van Lith is just
Let
going
me
to
tighten it
follow
up.
her around. She should be her shadow. She should not, Sloot should not go anywhere without Van Lith just right
No,
behind her. I love this. So it's
no.
an A. It's an A for me.
Yeah. Ah, there go my cute little face. Shit.
Oh, look
There
at
she go.
you. Oh my God.
Ah,
That's freaking, we're going to talk about it, Taj, but that is a stacked.
who
What's your
y'all
grade? What's your
messing
grade?
with? Who y'all
What's your
messing
grade?
with?
Then we
Sorry.
got to talk about it. We'll talk
I
about
give
it.
Chicago. I give Chicago an A. I think they got exactly what they needed in those two picks of extending the floor with a versatile big, and also another shooting point guard that can come in and run that second group. But Haley's going to be surrounded by a lot of good people too, so I'm excited for that. Angel gets a really good vet point guard that's going to help her be great, even greater in pick and roll offense. So I think
Yes.
that's a good A.
Woo! I like it. A, especially Haley Van Lith. I have covered her on 3x3 side. That is going to be so great with her in a, quarter court working with Angel and
Yeah.
even Camilla. That's going to be amazing. All right. Pick is
Absolutely.
in as we round out the first round.
Oh, that
Aziah
was cute with the
James
mama.
from NC State. That was so cute. A handshake with her
What?
moms.
Look. What?
Going to Dallas, 5'10" guard. Aziah James is flat out a bucket getter, and Dallas is just saying we're gonna score all of the points. That's what I
Yeah.
got from this pick. What
Dallas
do you
is going to
think?
be a fast team. They're going to be a fast team. They're going to be a versatile team. They're going to be a team that probably picks up over the half court line. This is a good kind of reboot and recharge to a Dallas organization that has needed just really solid players on both ends of the floor to surround Enrique. So I love this pick. I'm surprised she went this late because she is super solid. She can score in a multitude of ways and she can defend. So I was definitely
Mm-hmm.
surprised that she went 10th, but hey, go make your name felt that they should have picked you 9 times before that.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah, and
she's a
would you put
smooth
her
player.
as? She's so smooth. Also a lefty, right? Also a lefty. That's another
I'm
way
sorry,
that
my
it just
bad.
makes her look even more pristine. Would you put her as a point guard, or would she kind of be coming in for Enrique at that maybe 2 spot?
If you want me to be honest, I think a lot of players, it's just like the NFL too, right? You might play your college career as a quarterback, but when you get to the NFL, that's just that's not the position that you're going to play. So I think in a lot of realms, players that either fluctuate between that 1 and 2 players. Some players are like, I don't like to be a 1. Boy, you're going to be a 1 in the league. I think when they sub Arike out, it will be more so giving Paige her chance to go and be off the ball. And I think that she would come in and be a solid 1 to allow her to do that.
Okay, I love that. All right, as we look at the first round, this draft board, we're going to be able to reflect before we go to the second round. But first, let's chat with Aneesah Morrow, who is with Taylor Rooks, the 7th pick going to Connecticut.
All right, Aneesah, you said that with all of the work that you put in, this moment would feel like a sense of relief. What are the waves of emotion that you feel right now?
I tried to hold it in. I'm very emotional. I might cry a little bit later. But I'm just extremely happy. Like, sometimes I feel like I don't give myself enough grace. And the work that I put in over the years and what I've been through and what I've pushed through, I feel like a lot of people, if they knew that story, which we're going to show that story eventually, they would literally look at me as a different person. And I know what I've been through, and I will continue to push through. So that hard work of rolling my sleeves up every day and being so tough, it's Chicago's own.
Yeah. In those moments where you are thinking about what you've been through, what is coming, what do you tell yourself?
To stay in the moment, honestly. I feel like when you think about the stuff in the past, yes, it motivates you, but still be a little bit curious about the future, but also stay in that moment and enjoy it.
Well, speaking of enjoying it, you are one of just 2 players in D1 history with more than 100 double-doubles. What story does that stat tell just about how consistently dominant you can be?
Yes. It's hard to come in and day out and be able to do the things that I do every night. It takes sacrifice, it takes discipline, and I feel like that's exactly what it shows. You have to be as disciplined as you can to come out and average 20 and almost 15 rebounds a game, especially when teams throw anything that they possibly can at you. You have to develop your game throughout the season as well. You can't just be like, I'm averaging 20 and 15 and that's okay. You can't get complacent as well.
You, of course, will have a big role with the Sun. How do you feel like your fast pace of play will fit in Connecticut?
I feel like it will play good. Honestly, they're going to push the ball. I'm going to be able to get a lot of transition, stay on them boards, and be able to run down the court.
Yeah. You, of course, your head coach, Kimeki, mentioned this too, but it's so clear that there are things that are fueling you, that you feel like you got to go out there and show them who you are. Who are you?
Yes, I'm a dog. That's how it is at the end of the day. I roll up my sleeves, I get the job done, and I stay focused at the task at hand. I know what I want to accomplish, and I set my goals before every game and also every practice.
Yes, I'm so happy for you.
Thank
Congratulations.
You so much.
Can't wait to watch you.
Thank you.
She said, I'm a dog, Tosh. I love it. She seems so confident. And when we talk about effort, when we say that discipline, that effort is going to transition, she just seems like she knows it. And she's like, yeah, put me wherever. Doesn't matter where I go, what team, I know what I can do. Yeah. And that is contagious too, right?
Yeah. I think that's just the ultimate competitor. I feel that myself. It don't matter what task you put in front of me. I'm going to go do it, and I'm a dog. And you can say that confidently because you know it's fact. Every time you show up on the court, you do this, this, and this, and you can hang your hat on that every single night. And I think one thing that she can hang her hat on every single night is being that dog that she talks about. So I love it. I love the confidence. I love how she speaks about herself. I love how she advocates for herself. Because she's not a player that often got talked about as well, and you're talking about someone that was averaging a double-double. So I'm glad that she's advocating. Sometimes you have to for yourself, and that's just the name of the game. But Connecticut's getting the dog, and that's exactly what they needed.
I'm excited for her. That interview just made me love her even more. And that confidence is going to take her really far because you kind of, especially as a rook, you got to come in a little confident to know that you're going to be able to do it. Okay, let's look at that full first round picture because we are through the 2025 WNBA draft first round. Were there any surprises here from you?
I was obviously surprised by a few of the picks, but Haley going that late definitely surprised me, especially with all that she was able to accomplish at TCU this season and kind of getting her leg back for last season. Kiki definitely surprised me to the Mystics. I definitely thought they were gonna go 2 guards. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, yeah, mostly guards, but yeah, I think that's who I would say. Who surprised you? Oh, Sarah. Sarah surprised the both of us. I forgot.
Yes, that surprised me for sure. For sure. I thought Sarah was going to go early second round. I love you, Sarah girl.
Mhm.
But I did not see you
So, you know,
going to a Sparks team that
I
I
love
felt like
Sarah.
needed a point guard. I love you dropped a 45 piece in the tournament against Maryland. And we talk about too draft
I
stock
understand it.
rising in the tournament. Everybody was put on notice of
She
Sarah Ashley
understood the
Barker.
assignment. She understood the
Under
assignment.
Understood the assignment. I think one player who I'm surprised did not go first round was Cheyenne Sellers out of Maryland. That was a player that a low first round pick a lot of people had in mind. So I'm curious to see where she falls. And I also just want to say too, just if you
I
get
might
that
go
invite,
Vegas.
that would not be
They
bad.
need a backup.
They do need a backup. Okay.
They
I
need a
like that for
backup.
Cheyenne. I like that.
And
But we talk about it all the time. It's not about when you go, it's about where you go. So if she goes to a Vegas team, they could definitely use her. Isn't that true? It's not about your number order, it's about where you land.
I'm a second round 15th draft pick of the 2015 draft. I'm a player that wasn't supposed to be in the league, a mid-major kid that has had a beautiful 10-year career, one in which she won a championship, one or multiple in which she was all defensive team. So it don't matter where you get picked. It just matters what you believe in yourself. And I know for her, she's a tough kid. And I see a lot of myself in her because people count you out. They'll say that you're not good enough. They'll say that you're not big enough, strong enough, that you can score enough, that you can defend well enough. I think she's going to be the sleeper of the second round and a kid that makes a name for herself. Just focus. And I love that.
Yeah. We will see where she lands, but the 13th pick is in, and it's Aaliyah Nye out of Alabama.
Shoo. Okay.
6-footer. She didn't even have a table. She was kind of in the back of the room. And Vegas, per usual, getting a sleeper pick to add to their already deep and their depth that they have. But a shooter for sure, Tosh.
A shooter for sure. 6 foot. We love it. They needed another shooting guard. Honestly, I thought they were gonna go with a bigger four. I ain't gonna hold you. I think Asia needed an extender. I think a lot of times too that it can crowd her, and if you don't have a four that can extend and be a commitment to the defense, it puts a lot more pressure on her. But adding shooting does the same thing. So we love a versatile guard. Obviously, Becky has a plan to wear madness, and I'm a huge fan of Becky. I forgot to say that when we were talking about Georgia. Everyone keep talking about her hype, but they be forgetting about Becky.
That's true.
That girl was running this league crazy for years. At what 5'2"?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yes. And she was able to get those shots off, those threes off just the same.
yeah,
But look at
just the
here
same.
at Aaliyah Nye, a shooter. It just had it up on the screen. 113 3-pointers. She was shooting
Okay,
42% for three, which is 10th
okay,
in
girl,
D1 history. I mean, one
leave
thing
your
about
marks
Vegas
in.
one thing
Marks
about
in.
Vegas is a lot of people talked about Kelsey Plum not being on the team anymore. Did their
Mhm.
shooting from the outside kind of go down? So to be able to have someone maybe to come in when you need a shot and just to know your role, right? Like, I'm here to
Yeah,
shoot. And this team is stacked. So if you just need a shooter, that's what I can do. And that
what
also
I
just
can't wait to
relieves a
do it.
little bit.
It's the best thing ever. I did it when I was in DC. I'm about to do it this year. When you gotta guard the top four players on the other team, you be leaving with like you be help side. So I'm just staying here and this is my job. This is my
Yep.
job. I like that.
That's
I
perfect.
like it.
And I'm sure Becky and this system in Las Vegas is going to be able to get her acclimated. She's going to an organization that has the facilities, that has the superstar power. So I'm excited to see how that gets mixed in and how she does in training camp. But before we go on to Dallas's next pick, we have
What you
Saniya
got,
Rivers, who is with Taylor Rooks.
Oh my goodness, Saniya, congratulations. I asked how you're feeling. You said better now.
Better,
Walk me
yes.
through those emotions.
I don't know. You're just sitting there. You don't really know when you're going to be called. Obviously, people put ideas into your head, but just have the sense of relief that I'm finally on, have the opportunity to be a part of a team. So just feels amazing. I saw my dog Aneesah getting drafted before. Man, we've been lit all weekend, so just the fact that we have the chance to play together is just amazing.
Yeah, because what is it like to really see this team being built in this moment and what you're going to be a part of in Connecticut?
A lot of people get nervous when they see, all the starters leaving. I've dealt with that at NC State. Our whole starting roster left. Next thing you know, who's at the Final Four. So, don't sleep. Don't sleep. We got something coming, for sure.
I love that.
Absolutely.
And speaking of that, you helped completely rejuvenate the NC State basketball program. How will you be remembered in Raleigh?
I hope legendary. I come from a small city, Wilmington, North Carolina. You don't see a lot of young girls coming out in the position that I'm in. So you don't really see anybody coming out of Wilmington like that for real. You got Michael Jordan and you got Tamara Young, but I'm just excited to be another great to be added to the list. So.
I gotta say, you are an elite passer, and I don't think that it gets talked about enough.
Thank you.
So describe your vision and the kind of facilitator that you want to be.
Yeah, I love getting my teammates involved more than I do scoring. I don't know, it just gives me this good feeling just to see everybody else succeed around me. So hopefully in the league I can get everybody involved early and just be versatile, be that player that any team needs. I can pass, I can be off ball, play defense, whatever y'all need, I'm going to get it done for you.
And you already know that you're a great defender.
Absolutely.
In the W, what do you want it to feel like to be defended by Saniya?
Ooh, you're going to feel that pressure. You're going to feel that length. I'm hoping it intimidates people. It's not going to be easy. They've been in the league longer than I have, so I'm just hoping to really make my, name known, whether it's on the defense end, offensive end. I'm just trying to make a statement.
Yeah. All right, and lastly, I've seen the TikToks. What trend you doing tonight? Like, what we get into?
We already got something we ready to post because we prepared for tears to be all messed up, so we already got something, but we're going to live it up tonight. We turn the city up. The city that never sleep, baby. We outside.
I love that. Y'all click that follow.
Yeah, click it, please. Come on. I see y'all watching. Just hit follow.
Congratulations on this
Thank
moment.
So
Can't
much.
wait to watch
Thank
it.
you.
Nice to meet you. Enjoy.
I love her. She was ready for that moment. She got the TikToks down. She is
ready.
so funny. And that's so fun for her to just be putting on for her city. And she talked about that with NC State. But the pick is in for the Dallas Wings. They go with Madison Scott from Ole Miss, 6'2", versatile player. What do you like about this pick?
And I love Madison Scott. I really enjoyed watching Ole Miss since Shakira Austin came out when I was in DC and Coach Yo. And Madison's been a huge part and a piece of why they've been so successful in the last few years, and a player that doesn't often get talked about or the flowers that she deserves. But she's just a straight up hooper. Like, I don't have no other way to say it. But them hoopers that just be going crazy and you're like, it just sometimes it don't even make sense. That's how I feel about Madison. She's just a hooper. She works her ass off. She's a dog too. I think it's going to be a great addition to Dallas. All these teams are stacked, man. We all stacked.
Oh, yeah. Well, 3-time all SEC, and to be able to do it in a conference like the SEC as well.
And the politics that be coming into it. Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
She has been able to stay consistent and a solid force for Ole Miss. And I really like watching her play. Talk about fiery. She gonna talk something to the Rev. She gonna talk to her team. She gonna make sure that everybody is on the same page to be able to bring the energy. So I love Madison Scott, and I think what she's going to be able to add to this Dallas Wings team, and especially in a training camp position, learning from that 4 position. I think her being able to play behind an Alyssa Smith would do wonders for her growth too. What do you think?
I think so as
like
well.
that.
And I think Nalissa and Maisha are going to be really great vets for her to make that adjustment a little bit easier. They're also really good, like off the court stuff matters too, of how do players acclimate, how do they adjust, are they taken care of on and off the court, and Dallas as a whole team, they might be young, but they have really good people in that locker room. And I think sometimes that can be tainted by social media, but you have like really good human beings in that locker room. So I think it's a good situation for her to be going into for sure.
Yeah, as we look at the starters again, I mean, Paige going number one overall. How many days into the season? Like, I want to see how this is all going to work. And when you think of an Aziah James now a part of this and a Madison Scott to be able to add to it, yeah, everybody is stacked. This is,
And
we talk
that's
about
what
it all
I'm
the time,
saying.
but the W is crazy. Like, to be
If
able
you're
to
not
have
watching,
someone
you believe.
what?
If you're not
What?
watching, we over it. What?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay, we have the next pick is in going to Minnesota at number 15. We have Anastasia Olari Kosu. 2021
I,
FIBA U19 World Cup. She was averaging almost 16 points a game. Another 19-year-old, our third 19-year-old in this
hmm
draft, and a little more love to the international players. How you feeling about
hmm
this one?
I feel like Cheryl always is the same as I felt about Mike Tebow when I played for him. They always find sleepers from
Mm-hmm.
overseas and players that are just going to acclimate and adjust to the offensive schemes and defensive schemes that they already have. So when you're talking about trying to make mini squads stronger, I think it does come from that post play and being able to throw different looks and different options from time to time. So I think this is a good pick, but Cheryl is always a method to her madness, whether people
For
agree or
sure.
not. It always ends up working out somehow, some way.
I trust Cheryl Reeve with my life. I think she is so smart. Her basketball mind is crazy. So
Mhm.
she knows what Kosu can do and bring to this team. So shout outs. I also love as a basketball fan to be put on to somebody new. Like, I can't wait to see what Kosu can bring to the
What?
W.
Absolutely. I'll be like, put me
I
on
love
to a
that.
new player. I like that.
Please do. Yeah, look at these stats,
Please
16
do.
points, almost 13 rebounds, double
That's crazy.
double, playing
And
for
like
in
you said,
Canterbury in
19.
Russia. 19?
Like you said,
What
19.
was I doing at 19? What were you doing at 19? I was not ready to be drafted into the WNBA.
I was transferring back to St. Joe's. I was transferring to a mid-major.
Well, I shout out to these 19-year-olds. Couldn't be me. Could
Yeah.
not be me.
We
All
got
right,
we got a
16th
pick.
pick. We got to pick Maddie Westbeld to Chicago, coming out of Notre Dame. How do you feel
Yeah.
about this one? I kind of like this.
Fighting Irish. I like it. I think it's another solid power forward for Chicago team that needs to strengthen their depth on their bench, as well as really look towards the future too of who they're building around. Obviously, Angels in the mix. I think whether we talk about it now or later, I think free agency next year is going to be madhouse. So don't be surprised if you see some players go back to where they originally were on. So I don't know. I'm excited. I think this is
Mm,
a solid pick. I think that it's really a great rebuild kind of situation for Chicago and where they've kind of needed to redirect themselves. And what better coach than Tyler to do it behind? And what better man to
that is,
hire an all women staff and his daddy is a
I
Dobo? I
know.
love it. I love it.
I
I
know.
love it.
And the
I didn't mean
type
to
of
say his
staff
daddy
that he
like
has
that, but you know what
hired.
I mean. Yeah, I didn't mean to say his daddy like that, but you know what I mean. Like, I think that's family business. That's really cool.
That is really cool. And you have someone like, because Courtney Parrish, he hired Courtney Parrish, right? Like working
Yeah,
with the Maddie Westbeld and then Angel Reese, like that is gonna be so good.
and
Especially just the
Maddie does.
learning curve.
Yeah, and Maddie does all like I don't like to say garbage talk because I hate it. I always hated this term, but she literally does anything that you need her to do. She's gonna do it. She's gonna pull off her role to the best of her ability. And I think when you're just talking about players that really need to come in and make immediate impact, that's the type of mindsets you have to have.
shoot it too. She could shoot it. All right.
Yes,
Our
can.
girl, Sarah Ashley Barker, was with Taylor Rooks. Let's hear what she had to say.
All right, you are the 9th player in Alabama history to be drafted. How special is it to make that history for your home state?
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, just to be able to represent the state of Alabama in the right way. But like, I would not be here without my teammates and my coaches. Like, seriously, they are the reason why I'm on this stage tonight. They're the reason why I'm in this position, because I just truly love them so much, and I would not be here without them.
Yeah, I saw, of course, you had some embraces, some words with those teammates.
Yes.
What sticks out about that moment with them?
Yeah, it just means everything to me. I think because, there's 2 more players in this draft that I believe should get drafted with Aaliyah Nye and Zay Green. And they're just 2 amazing players that I just can't wait to see when their name's called.
I love that. Of course, you're headed all the way to Los Angeles. Now listen, just got Kelsey Plum, Cameron Breen coming back. You've got Ray Burrell, you've got Rakia. What did you think about the Sparks before you were headed there?
Yeah.
And what are you going to add?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like, I always thought about, like, what if I could play under Kelsey Plum? Like, just being able to learn from her leadership and her being a vet. But then also you have Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson, who they both were rookies last year. So they can help a rookie like me in this way and tell me how it is, tell us how it's supposed to be. So I just feel like I'm in a really, really good position in LA.
Okay, well, speaking of good position, during your time at Bama, you set the single game scoring record with 45 points. I know the game didn't end how you wanted, but you just show up in those big moments. How will you bring that poise to the league?
Yeah, I think it's just my faith. My faith is very important to me. I mean, I would not be here if it was not for my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and I'm just so blessed. I think that every single game, I just want to play as hard as I can. And so for me, it's like I love the game so much, and that's just what I'm going to take to the next level is you love it, go play as hard as you can, and just do the little things. There's so many great players on this LA team, and I'm just so thankful that I'm even in this conversation.
I love that. I can't wait to watch you fit right in. Congratulations on this moment.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to our girl, Sarah Ashley Barker. I can't wait to say all 3 of her names all season long because that's going to be a lot of fun. I love it. I love it. Sparks got a good one. But the 17th pick in the second round goes to Cheyenne Sellers out of Maryland. 6'2" guard. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for her. And the Valkyries were like, oh, nobody picked her. We'll take that. So I love that she's going to Golden State. How you feeling?
I love this pick. Honestly, when we were playing the Taylor Rooks video, I was watching the TV and smiling from ear to ear because I knew that they were going to pick her. I think this is a point guard that they need to solidify the good group of players that they have. I think she's going to help and be a great addition to a Tiffany Hayes. Someone that's electric and gritty and just tough nosed and going to be able to learn from her. Also surrounded by Mo Billings. It's just I'm really excited and gets to learn from a Veronica Burton as well. I think people forget V is the point guard there as well, and that's one of my favorite mid-major point guards as well. So she's in good hands. Natalie is an amazing coach, was an amazing player as well, and I'm excited to see what they're finna do out here with this additional 13th team. This is crazy, isn't it?
I know. Isn't that crazy? We got new blood in the water. New blood in the water in California. A look at the Valkyries and just being, I don't even know how you can describe it, just that first year. Like there's nothing to go off of prior, and you're going to be able to come in with a team with Tiffany Hayes, Kate Martin, you mentioned Mo Billings. This is a group of players that are like, cool, let's suit up. We're in uncharted waters. But how would you kind of describe playing for a expansion team where there's not a lot of pressure from the jump, but you can really make it your own?
Yeah, I think that's the exciting thing about it. And to everyone that's there, that's what the conversations have been. I've been really excited about just a new journey, expanding, right? When we all come into this league, something that I feel like we all will always attest to is that we want to leave it better than what we found it. And over my tenure, I've gone through 10 years, and to be a part of the league still when we're adding in the 13th team. That's really important for those players that are now on that 13th team. You have the ability to make it your own, but to also really like take the responsibility of this is the league. This is what we've been working for, was expanding, and now it's our time to show everyone that this league has been ready for expansion. We're able to do expansions, and we're able to still play at an elite level, even with those expansion teams. So I'm excited.
Me too. I'm excited. And, I grew up in Sacramento. I was a Monarchs fan.
You
This
were a Monarchs
purple
fan,
and
man.
being close to Sacramento, I guess this is now my hometown team. My mom's
Miss your
really
hometown
excited to
team.
go to play. But I'm like,
That's
God,
okay.
why
You
could we
still
bring
gonna
back?
shit for the Liberty.
Of course, Tosh. And I
I was like,
can't
I ain't
wait to
hearing
get your
nothing, Jordan.
jersey. I'm so excited for you. Let's just take a time out to
Can't
give you
wait.
all of your flowers, because I am
Don't do it,
so
girl. No.
hype for you, Tosh, to go
Man.
to the Liberty.
Oh,
We saw a glimpse on the broadcast of what your team is going to look like. Real quick, before we go to the next pick, how excited are you to be in New York? You're there right now. You're setting up your place. How does it feel?
man, it's a long story short. To be dealt with in the way that I was, the manner that I was, and to still end up with God's favor is truly a testament to His hand on my life and my career. And I'm so thankful to the Connecticut organization for being willing to work with me. First and foremost, because Jen and both Morgan were amazing during that process. I know it was probably chaotic to everyone else, but from the jump, they just told me to be calm and patient and that they would figure it out. And then on the other side of it, JK, man, working for a month to get that trade done. I'm just really thankful to be here, to be wanted on an organization. And for me, this is going to be my lick back, is being everything that I said I was. And I can't tell you, I can't wait till we play Phoenix, boy.
Woo! The Tosh
We're
Revenge
clocking
Tour.
it.
I can see it now. We're clocking it.
I
I mean,
love
look
it.
at your
I
teammates
love it.
around you. This is going to be your season. I'm so excited for you. It's
Thank
going to
you.
be
Now let's get
great.
to the pow pow. Let's get to the
Let's
pow
get to the
pow.
pow. I was
I
going to
love pow
say
pow.
this while we were waiting. I'm like, I'm really surprised Pow Pow is still on the board, going 18th in the second round. But man, she's going to the Atlanta Dream. I think this is a great fit for her. Pow Pow, I've been
Think it is
watching her.
too.
I used to cover the Pac 12 at Pac 12
Yeah.
Network when she was at Oregon. She was a dog there, and then she was an even bigger dog in South Carolina. How do you like Pow Pow's game? And then with the Dream with Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray and BG.
Yeah, I think that she is going into an organization where she's going to be really taken care of with the vets ahead of her. They're going to bring her in. They know they need her. She extends their game, their offensive scheme, adds additional shooting to what is already great in Ryan and Alicia. Another defender on the other end of the floor. But I think this is a great pickup for their guard presence moving forward, and the future of what the Atlanta Dream will look like. And I think that Pow Pow is a great player because even in going to South Carolina, just understands what a role and what it means to play in the team setting, and how everyone just kind of needs to play their individual roles in order for everyone to be great collectively. So I like this pick for Atlanta.
I
And she
like it
stayed
too.
home
And
with it.
she stayed home. She decided
I
to
love
stay
that.
in Oceanside, and look at all those people that are there. Those are she had a
And
whole
they be running
section at
squad
South
deep.
Carolina. Yes, they run deep, and they are serious about Pow Pow. And I can imagine they are all going to be going to Atlanta games, or especially now that there's 2 California teams. So I bet her family is excited about that. But Pow Pow is
Absolutely.
a solid player. I think she can get some run, especially at the point guard position, where Atlanta wants to play fast, but they also want to shoot the ball, and she can definitely do that. So coming in
Yeah.
for Jordan
And they got a
Canada,
great
I
point
like
guard
it.
too. Yeah.
I
I was
like
gonna
it.
say they got a
Another
great point
great
guard
point guard
too.
to shadow. my God, JC is a great one.
Man,
I love this.
tough.
I love this.
Yeah, I
Okay,
like
as
this
Pow
one,
Pow
man.
is getting all her flowers, quite literally, because they are draped around her. She deserves. We're gonna head to an interview with Taylor Ricks with Ajsa Sivka. Here's Taylor.
Ajsa, congratulations. I love that moment that we just saw with you and your dad. What should all of us know about how the love between you two led to tonight?
I mean, as I said, like I really started playing because of him. I used to go to his games, I was like so little. Like really, I'm here because of him,
Yeah.
And also, like, of course, other family, all the coaches I had, so I'm grateful.
I love that. I'm glad you all got to share this together. And of course, for you, as an international player, what do you think this moment represents just for Black basketball globally?
Especially being like the first Slovenian to be picked in the first round, it's really a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And like I'm just happy I can represent my country like on this level. And people will also maybe start watching women's sport now. So
yeah. I love that, as they should. You of course are an incredibly gifted passer. What element does that add to your playmaking ability, and how do you want to bring that in the W?
Yeah, I mean. My passing ability is just part of my game, and I really enjoy to give a nice pass, nice assist. It just shows that I'm not a selfish player, that I really like to to have the flow in the game. And yeah.
Playing with Angel Reese, how does that sound?
It sounds nice. She's a superstar. Can't wait to start.
Amazing. I can't wait to watch.
Congratulations
on tonight.
We got it. Ajsa, we are going to get your name, girl. We're going to get it down. I love it. The first Slovenian to be picked in the first round. That is so dope. Talk about legacy. That is so cool. I love that for her. She was so excited.
I know. I love that too. It's one thing to put on for your family, but another to put on for your culture, your people. So I think that's really cool. A cool part of her story too.
That is
Dang, they
so
went
cool.
to 3 picks, Jordan.
I know. 3 picks while we were away. We're going to catch up. They going quick now. Okay, the Indiana Fever at 19 picked Michaela Timpson, a power forward. Love her game. And then the Fever got Bree Hall from South Carolina, which I think is super, super fun. Going to be in Indiana. And then at 21, the Sparks got Saniya Fagan from South Carolina, as they show Dawn Staley on the screen cheering on Saniya, who looks great, by the way. She really dressed up for that draft. But South Carolina picks. And how do you feel about Fagan? I really like her game as a power forward.
Yeah, I like Fagan's game a lot. I think this is going to be a good pickup for LA behind the De'Erica and behind Aziah and Cam. I think it's just adding more to their post player arsenal, but this gives a definite strong another De'Erica back to the basket post player on the inside. Another big rebounder. She moves well without the ball. She moves well off her teammates. I'm excited. I think this is a good pickup for LA. And then I think with Indy's 2 picks, I think they did a good job of grabbing a guard and a post player that has a motor that can match Caitlin's. The only player I think it was to average a double and then also 3 blocks. So you're just adding more versatility to an already versatile Indy team. You're matching Caitlin's motor, and then Bree is an amazing defender. I wish that she would look to take a few more shots here and there and to be a little bit more aggressive, but for right now, she can definitely hang her hat on the defensive end and being the defensive stopper for Indy for sure.
Yeah, and we talk about coming in knowing your role, to just be like, I'm coming in to rebound and defend and catch Caitlin's passes. That is all I have to do. I don't have to come in and score 20 points. That's what I gotta do.
You ain't got to do it. You just gotta, when you get in, you gotta do your role to the best of your ability. That's it.
Yeah, and with the Fever giving up Fagbinley to the Valkyries in that expansion draft, I feel like Michaela Timpson can kind of fill that void a little bit in that next unit. Good hands. I really like that. I really like that pick for
Yeah, that's
them.
a good point. That's a really good point.
Thank you. All right, we got
Yeah,
another
you're welcome, man.
interview. Haley Van Lith. She's with Taylor Rooks. Let's see what she got.
Haley, it is so good to see you. Congratulations. I know it is such a simple question, but just in this moment, how do you really feel? Yeah, and speaking of that college career, how do you feel like you were defined in college, and how do you want to be defined in the W?
Yeah, I think that I've been defined as, and I think that's exactly what I need to be at the next level. I think mindset and toughness, separates people at the top level, and so if I can maintain that and even take it up a notch, I'm setting myself up for success.
You, of course, have been so open about your journey, the ups, the downs. What would you tell Haley 2 years ago about this moment and that you would make it right here?
Yeah, I would say, God's plan is the best plan and yours is not. So just give it up and, have faith. Whatever happens, it's meant to happen to you to show you something to make you better. So embrace those times when it doesn't go how you want it to go.
Yeah. And of course, you're going to be in Chicago, paired up again with Angel Reese.
Yes.
How are you a different player now than when you were originally with Angel?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit better of a point guard. I can facilitate better, make reads better. And I also think that I showed an ability to create in different ways than I was able to create for myself a year ago. So I think there's a couple things, but I'm just excited to get out there and get with the team.
Can't wait to watch you be an absolute dog. Congratulations, Haley.
Thank you.
That was so great. I forgot. We didn't even mention that she's going to be playing with Angel Reese again. Thank you for that reminder, Taylor. That's going to be fun to see that little reunion.
Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see them. Like she said, she's better now than she was when she was at LSU. And I know Angel is a competitor too. They're both competitors. They're both going to win, and it's gonna be a good connection. I feel this time around. Look at young
I think that
Paige.
is so great. I know we're looking at young Paige on the ESPN feed, and she basically said, I want a championship and then to get the number 1 overall pick, and that is exactly what happened. So that is so amazing. Another pick was in while we were going through that interview. Ajsa Sivka, I believe that is how you say it. Coming from Texas A&M. Shout outs. We got another point guard on the board going to Chicago.
King G.
Wow.
My
I
dog
love
Lucy
again.
Olsen got picked.
Oh, Lucy Olsen going 23 overall from
Man.
Iowa. Okay, talk about a dog. I love Lucy's game, and she can flat out score the ball.
I love
What do you like
Lucy
about her?
too.
You got hype.
Lucy was at Nova, and I'm from right outside of Philadelphia. So when I would go back home to work out with our trainer James Clark, we would always work out together, and I would just be like, "You got a little shit to you, like, hey, you got a little stuff to you." And then I'll go see her play in the games, and I'd be like, "Wow, it's gonna be great if you could just get your name on a bigger scale." And when she went to Iowa, I knew she was making that decision to be seen, right? And to really be banked on and to go prove that she could do it at a bigger school, probably a harder conference. So I'm excited for this pick, man, because she really is just a good kid. She works her ass off for everything. She's not the biggest player. She's not the strongest player, but she just finds a way. And I think that's special when you're just talking about a competitor.
Oh yeah. I also covered Lucy when she was doing 3x3 playing for Team USA, and just that motor that she has, she is like
It's crazy.
nonstop. She can just keep
Nonstop.
keep going. You need a bucket, you need to play defense, you need me to shoot a 3, whatever you need. And that's gonna make for a really fun training camp when she goes to Washington. Then the 24th overall pick, Delia Daniels out of Washington. Covered her while I was at the Pac-12. Super good big and able to shoot it as well. So I think that is going to be helpful for a Minnesota team. And then lastly, at 25, the last pick in the second draft, we have Rhea Marshall out of USC. who I love. I'm obsessed with
We
Rhea.
love that.
And
We love that.
I love this for her. How do you feel about these last couple second round picks that have been really quick?
Really, really quick. You know what? I will say this about the second round. I think a lot of times people can count second round draft picks out, but your job is to go get a job. That is literally your job, is to go take a job. So your job is to go in, work as hard as you can, be a sponge, learn, adjust, and really just give it your all. What's the worst case that you have to lose? That's how I went into it, even as a 15th round draft pick. I went into it like, I'm taking someone's job and that sucks, but I gotta feed my family. So when you have that mentality and when all you ever known is to get it out the mud, you never know what can happen in your favor with God's timing. So wherever you were picked in this draft, you are meant to be here.
Your job is to go take a job. I hope that is on every second rounder and the first round too. I want that on their locker. They should see that every single day going into training camp. I think that is so, so good. All right. We wrap this up.
I watched Aisha Allen do it. I watched Aisha take a 8-year vet's job when she came in as a second round draft pick out of Louisville. And she was almost 8 years in too. So yeah, I love it. Love an underdog story.
I love an underdog story. And you are, I think if you look under underdog story, your picture would also be there, probably with an animation. Yes, barking.
With the pitbull animation, with the pitbull gif. That's the one I use.
I would bet on that. I love it. All right, as we wrap up here, what teams do you think won the draft? Like, who are some winners in your eyes?
I think that obviously Dallas, from the time of free agency, I would say that they're top of my list. I think that they did a really good job. I think Kurt is a mastermind behind the plan, and Chris has really learned from him over the last few years. So I'm excited for his opportunity to coach. I would say the New York Liberty, because obviously we're the shits. No, I'm just playing. Obviously we didn't get a pick, so I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it somewhere in here. You feel me?
The team that didn't even need a pick is a winner. I get that. Yeah.
I was excited to see what DC, with a new head coach, a new GM, with just a whole new vision of what was next for DC, would end up doing. And I think that they did a really good job in this draft and of rebuilding and replenishing what they have lost. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited for this draft. I think it was probably like one of the strongest drafts across the board. Typically, you have a little bit of a drop off, and there's no drop off. So that's the exciting part for me. And now y'all babies got to come in and go toe to toe with us every night. And I love that shit too. Come get your little welcome moments.
Yes, plenty of welcome to the W moments in all of these draftees' futures, which is super exciting. I was also going to say DC. I think DC really had an opportunity to rebuild and get some pieces through this draft. I think they really put a lot of movements and free agency and years prior to say, we are going to rebuild. Like, these are the pieces that we need. So I love that. Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen are both super, super strong. And they got Georgia Amoore as well. I really think DC was one of the winners for me. But then you have Dallas. You're going to win if you got Paige Bueckers. So I can't wait to see all of these transitions. I can't wait to see what training camp looks the best. What training camp would you not want to be in? I think that's an interesting question, because there's only limited spots, but there's a lot of bodies that's going to be in these training camps.
I think Dallas is stacked. I think if I was on Dallas, I'd be a little stressed right now.
You got Madison Scott trying to get a job. You got
everybody trying to get a job.
Pretty solid. Aziah James trying to come in there and make some noise. That is going to be a tough training camp. My gosh. But then you have some of the vets coming in, like All right, you ain't gonna take my job though. Like that's also a mentality too, right?
Yeah, because there's you could do the wing thing, but we could always bring players under our wing. But when it comes down to it, that's my spot. Period. Ain't no ifs,
I
ands,
love
or
it.
buts.
No ands and or buts. Okay, the last surprise for me was Pow Pow going a little later. I think that was a little bit shocking, especially when a lot of mock drafts, like when you think across the board, had her going late first round. Potentially when Minnesota had that pick, they thought maybe that was a good one. But those late trades before the draft kind of shake up the draft order of what teams need what. So any other surprises that went higher or lower than you thought?
Honestly, no, I think that draft night is always really hard. Like you said, there can be changes within a few hours right before. You can have a change of hearts, you can have adjustments to rosters and all those things. So you never truly know where you're going to get picked. We can mock out and do as much as we want, but outside those first three picks, it's really hard to say where anyone will go. So yeah, I'm really happy with how tonight's draft went. I thought it ran really well and really smoothly, and those are all really big things when you're just talking about our league being better in as a whole. So I think this is one of the best drafts that we've had from top to bottom, production and obviously joining you live to stream it, Jordan. That was fun for me tonight too.
Heck yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This was my favorite draft because I got to watch it with you, Tosh. Thanks so much for hanging out. This was so fun. I love seeing your real-time reactions. We talked about it before it even came on. We probably were going to have these discussions when we were watching it solo on the couch anyway. So now we got to talk through it together.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for having me. This was really fun for me.
Oh, this was so fun for me. Thank you, Bleacher Report, for doing it big for the WNBA draft this year. We appreciate you. Tosh, I cannot wait to see you in a Liberty uniform, just wrecking havoc throughout the rest of
I can't wait.
season.
I can't wait.
It's going to be so good. Best of luck to you. And thank you to everybody who's been watching. We appreciate you, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, y'all.